Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, all of our witnesses, for being here. Thank you for your testimony as we consider the legislation from my colleague from California. Ms. Shult, is it Schulte or Shult?
Shult is fine.
Shult is fine. All right, that's all right. My Neguse is tough to pronounce. Help me understand. I want to just kind of paint a broader picture. Is it correct to say that there is only one large-scale quartz slab producer in the United States of America, domestically manufactured?
No, that is untrue.
That's untrue?
Yeah, there are plants in Tennessee, and there are plants in Georgia. There have been plants
What companies
in Florida. Sure. LG, also known as LX, Houses. There's Doll Tile, which is a subsidiary of Mohawk Industries.
And do those, let me put it a different way, in terms of market share, I guess it's your contention that the other companies that you're mentioning have similar market share as you do?
I'm not saying that. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess let me take a step back, because I don't think this is something that your company would deny. You are the largest large-scale quartz slab producer in the United States. Is that false?
I believe it's true that we produce more domestically made quartz than any other company, but I would note that the other companies that I mentioned also do import products, so it's difficult to distinguish.
Yeah, but I'm talking about domestic manufacturing. I mean, my assumption is something you'd be proud of. It's not something you would be avoiding, that you all produce more domestically large-scale quartz slab than any other company in the United States.
I think that's right.
Okay. And this bill would give you immunity, your company, I should say, the company you work for, immunity on the grounds that you've described, and I was watching some of your testimony here in the judiciary room. That's correct, right?
Only with respect to third-party misuse of the product during the fabrication process.
Got it. What other industry has the type of immunity as a matter of federal statute that you're seeking here?
That's a good question. I'd say, what other industry that's as important as the building materials industry and the stone industry with thousands of
No, I'm not. It's not a rhetorical question. Sorry.
Under this kind of threat of litigation.
Yeah, Ms. Shult, it's not a rhetorical question. I'm asking you, you're here on behalf of your company, asking the United States Congress to pass a law that gives your company and other companies like yours immunity under federal law from litigation by countless citizens across the country, as we've heard. I'm asking you, are there other statutes that you are trying to emulate here, other types of immunity that have been given to other industries that you're seeking to emulate?
The situation here is that...
There are none? I'm trying to the answer is either I don't believe there's any other industries that have this type of immunity, and so here's why we'd like to convince the United States Congress to give us immunity, or the answer is no, these are the other industries that have similar product liability immunities.
So the other examples of immunity, without speaking to whether they're analogous or not, could include things like the airline industry after the terrorist attacks, where, for example, and there may be others, and I'm happy to address that in my written responses.
Okay, well, I would love to be able to review written responses from you and perhaps the other witnesses, because as I understand it, the other examples are few and far between. The gun industry, which has secured liability protections from the United States Congress, right? The defense industry, and under certain circumstances, vaccines. So guns, bombs, vaccines, and luxury kitchen countertops, slab, quartz products. That's the list that this august body will have built in terms of giving immunity to different industries. I don't really understand. I understand the arguments you're making, Ms. Shult, and the other folks in the industry, and I respect your point of view. But I think these are arguments that are best positioned to be delivered to a jury, not to the United States Congress. You have ample opportunity to make the case to juries. In some cases, I suspect you will lose, as you have. In other cases, you may win and convince a jury that there shouldn't be disproportionate liability on your particular industry or in terms of determining how liability will be sectioned out and bifurcated. But asking Congress to give you blanket immunity under the circumstances you're describing, that this Congress is only afforded to the gun industry and the defense industry, which, by the way, we should not have done in those instances. But that's perhaps a hearing for another day, if the chairman will indulge us on that front. I just don't really understand what we're doing here. But.
Oh, and I'm happy to explain. And I hear what you're saying. It's a unique request that we're making here today, and that's because we cannot defend against 400 lawsuits. What's happening in California state courts is effectively regulation through litigation, and it's having a nationwide effect on businesses across the country. So that's why we're here coming to Congress today. The overexpansion of very basic tort principles threatens our entire industry.
Do you
and to the
appreciate the
extent that happened to
normative
other industries, it may also be appropriate for
The
Congress
gentleman's
to step
time
in.
has expired. I'm sure this will be further explored by additional witnesses. We now go